Welcome back, traders. This is Sandra with Trading Made Simple. And today we're going to talk about the CCI. What is the CCI? Well, it's basically measures over bought and oversold levels, and it's also used as a momentum indicator. And so the way that I use it is that when I enter a trade, I am often looking at where the CCI is located. Now, the CCI that I have on my chart right now is just the basic CCI indicator from Thinkorswim, and you can probably get it from any platform that you're on. So if you just go to your studies and you type in CCI, you bring it on over, and when you bring it over, the only thing I did to it is on the the zero line is I made it green. It's red typically. So the CCI, which is white, that is basically the line that we're looking at here. And we're just wanting to make sure that if we're in a call, that it stays above the zero line. And if we're in a put, it stays below the zero line. Could it be that easy? Yes, it can. So on my chart, depending on what you have on your chart, you can use whatever you want to on your chart. If it works for you, that's all that's important. And I mean that in many different ways. If you're able to read it, you're comfortable with it, wonderful. The only thing I would want you to introduce is the CCI, because that really is our exit strategy. So I create a watch list. That watch list gives you price triggers, and we're utilizing those price triggers on a 5-minute chart. And we don't enter a trade on a wick. We only enter a trade when it actually breaks the trigger price with a full body, not a wick. I'm in war with wicks, and I'm sure this has happened to you where a wick has touched your alert price and then goes the opposite direction. Yeah. So that's the one of my pet peeves. And so we do not enter any triggers on a wick. And so what do? Maybe you set an alert and the wick goes, triggers the alert. Well, you go to your chart, you see that it's a wick, and you reset the alert. That's what I do. And if it goes off again, I look at the chart, and if it's still another wick that's happening, like here, I reset the alert. And so I do that until I get the alert and I take a look at the chart and I go, oh, this actually looks like it's going to go down. And then I take the trade. And then when I'm in the trade, I'm now looking at my CCI, and I'm just making sure that while I'm in the CCI, that the CCI continues to go in the same direction underneath the zero, because as soon as it comes up to the zero, that's when I'm out of the trade. There's no hopium, there's no wishing, there's no maybe this will turn around, maybe it's just one green candle. I've been there and I've done it all, so I know exactly what you're thinking. So as soon as that CCI crosses above that zero line, which is your middle line there, I'm out of the trade. That's how we do it. Could you re-enter the trade? You know the trend is down. It comes back to the zero line. You can enter the trade. Yes, you can. And when you do, you just make sure to stay in until it crosses the zero line. Now, are there times where you're going to get chopped up? Sure, there are. But this is a systematic approach. And so as you can see, we've been documenting our entries and exits all month, and you can see our results from it. So you need to be systematic. I talk about this quite a lot, and it really is about being systematic. Because if you're getting in a trade and you're getting chopped up and spit out, and then you refuse to go back in a trade because of that previous experience, then what ends up happening then is then you don't react to the one that's actually gonna pay you for those previous trades. It's gonna pay you for that pain that it was in the neck for you. Okay, and so that's the deal, though. So with any system, it needs to be repetitive. And for for you to gain any edge, you have to have a system. So if you don't have a trading plan, you're really kind of vacillating on really what your rules are. Go over to our channel. We have a trading plan as well as a journal and a option tracker so that you can track and journal your trades. And this should help you identify where your strengths and your weaknesses are. So utilizing the CCI in this manner has helped. Now, I will warn you that on major cap stocks like Amazon, where one candle and its velocity could really damage your account, what we do is modify our strategy with the large cap stocks, these mega large cappers. What we do is though our trigger is still at the 0 level, and you can see this is a choppy mess right here, right? What we end up doing is we actually, if we're in a put play as an example, we would exit as soon as we touch the negative 100. If we were in a call, we would exit as soon as we are coming down from that 100. And so creating basically shorter trades based on the momentum and the velocity of those candles could really end up, hurting your account, right? If you've ever traded Amazon or SPX intraday. But if you end up following the system and you enter, as an example here, then you would follow this trade until when? Right here. And look at how that lines up right here. That's at the 100. Okay? You enter here. You exit here. So that's the only time that we've modified this is based on those large cap stocks. If you're, in a smaller stock, as an example, like Microsoft, and you wanted to get, more shares than you typically get, you can utilize that same thing, but you're just going to get a lot more chop out of it. So, as an example, if you entered here and you came and exited right there, right? When you could have taken that all the way to here. So that's why we say on the smaller stocks, you can definitely take a ride a lot longer and profit exponentially. But on those mega expensive stocks, we want you to limit your exposure to risk by getting in and getting out on that first line. Getting in a trade right here and taking that trade and getting out right here. Okay, I hope that's a good introduction to the CCI. By the way, on my chart is everything that I've used in previous videos. You can see that it's a clean chart and don't have too much on it. Got the pivot trend, the Darvis, my pre-market, high-low, and those videos can be found in the Start Now folder of our Discord. And then if you're looking for some custom watch lists and scans, well, we've created several that are really cool. So like this one, this, to enter this, you would just go and customize your watch list columns. And so you could, I think we called it TMS pre-market. And what that does is it color codes it and then lets you know what the pre-market levels are, high and low. Tell me that's not cool. And then also gives you if it's, if it broke the low or if it broke the high. I think the color coordination is keeping it simple. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me, and we'll see you in the next video.